This week on Engineering Newswire, we're exploring the Arctic, riding along with tiny autonomous scooters, and taking the wheel on big military diesels.
The European Space Agency is hard at work tracking icebergs using an updated version of the same patrol service created after the wreck of the Titanic. The International Ice Patrol, established in 1913 by the US Coast Guard, was created in response to the famous collision. It uses aircraft and radar imagery to keep track of icebergs that could potentially cause harm to ships in the North Atlantic. Now, ESA cloud computing is used to host and process information from those aerial patrols as well as two European satellites, Sentinel-1A and 1B. The new platform puts both data assembly and processing powers online. This increases the speed with which the data can be sent from the satellite to the Ice Patrol, since the data has to travel through fewer steps in physical locations before getting to its end user. David Authors, who runs the Polar Thermatic platform for ESA, says that the goal is to be able to spot icebergs and predict their paths with just a few hours of delay. It's efforts like this that has enabled exactly 0 collisions between icebergs and ships heeding iceberg warnings since the time of the Titanic.
If you happen to be walking around MIT at the school's open house last spring, you might have seen someone riding around on a scooter, or the scooter zipping around on its own. Researchers from MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, along with the National University of Singapore, have been working on autonomous mobility for some time, in order to demonstrate how it might be able to help mobility impaired people, as well as to educate people about the potential applications and safety of autonomous vehicles. On November 7th, the researchers talked to MIT's news office about how they taught the scooter using several different layers of software. Low-level control algorithms allow the vehicle to interpret its environment and respond on a case-by-case basis, such as when a person walks out in front of the scooter. Other algorithms build a map of the location and determines the vehicle's own location on that internal map. Yet more algorithms enable the scooter to be used like an Uber, coming to riders when they call and including fleet management to allocate multiple scooters to the people who may need them. The researchers envision the scooters as vehicles that can be used to take mobility impaired users places cars can't go, from small roads to malls.
ATV company Polaris has made a significant sale to the US Marine Corps, marketing a rugged, light diesel buggy that can bounce along tough terrain. The EM Razor D4 is a weaponized version of the Polaris Razor off-road ATV, and the Marine Corps has ordered 144 of them. According to a report from Jalapnik, the EM Razor uses a 3-cylinder diesel engine and can switch between 2-wheel drive and all-wheel drive modes. It can carry up to 1,500 pounds of cargo and carry 4 people. The civilian Razor doesn't come in diesel, so the military version is an interesting look into what other diesel vehicles may look like on the battlefield. The US Army has also used the Polaris EM Razor in military tests to assist foot soldiers. Because it isn't armored, this certainly isn't intended as an attack vehicle, but it can traverse through rough terrain quickly with its 12-inch ground clearance, and can be winched out of any terrain it can't actually traverse. Polaris has offered a portfolio of military vehicles since it first entered the sector in 2004. Now, for the first time, a diesel-powered Razor will take the lead on the front lines.
Do you have story ideas? Comment below and we'll cover them in an upcoming episode. For the PD&D channel, we're John DePiero and Tim Morgan, and this has been your Engineering Newswire.